Looking to bring up a topic of conversation at your next dinner party? Mention Uber and watch everyone step in with their opinion of the service. Since breaking into the market a few years ago, Uber has changed the way people get around in dozens of countries. It's also created a rather large army of enemies. And we're not just talking about taxi drivers. From murder and robbery to ridiculous charges, Uber definitely has its share of pretty disturbing and shocking stories. Where did that come from? When Seth Bender ordered an Uber, he had no idea what he was in for. Upon entering the car, Bender let out a burp and immediately apologized. Apparently, driver Hamza Abu Sharia didn't accept the apology and went on a huge rant. According to Bender, his driver unleashed a barrage of derogatory terms and stated he hated Americans and homosexuals. Apparently, it didn't end there either. Once at their destination, Sharia got out of the car, spat in his passenger's face, and even slapped him. London calling. Accidentally leaving your phone in a taxi is a common mistake people make. Sabrina, a woman from London, had a horrifying experience when her driver demanded money in exchange for returning her phone. Before she could even get to her purse, the driver reportedly hit the gas and dragged her down the road, knocking her unconscious and leaving her with cuts requiring stitches. A few people witnessed the entire thing, and Uber rightfully blocked the driver as a result. ISIS and Uber. Perhaps one of Uber's biggest criticisms is that it doesn't really know much about the background of its drivers. After this story, we bet you may never look at your Uber driver the same way again. In 2015, driver Miguel Diaz was arrested for a bunch of stuff related to security and terrorism. How serious was it? Diaz frequently posted pro-ISIS material on Facebook and even described himself as a lone wolf for the organization. He had been caught conducting surveillance on Homeland Security buildings, owned a sophisticated rifle, and had sought the purchase of more weaponry. Uber my dead body. On February 20th, 2016, Uber driver Jason Dalton had one particularly busy day. What with all the customers, and shooting spree he went on. In one bizarre story, Dalton went about the day picking up fares like any other. Then for around 5 hours, he randomly drove around and shot 6 people to death before deciding to pick up some more customers. Why did he do it? Clearly, this driver is a few sandwiches short of a picnic, as he told investigators that Uber was taking over his body and making him act like a puppet. Indian terror. It's safe to say that Uber driver Santu Pramanik isn't making the company look good. This Indian man was arrested and charged in July 2016 for his actions while driving a customer. The customer in question was a 27-year-old woman who thought something was up when Pramanik kept trying to drive down deserted alleyways. According to her, when she demanded he stop the car and let her out, the driver said he would rape her and dump her body. Fighting off her attacker, the woman managed to escape. Armed and dangerous. Anyone who got a ride from Jonathan Hemming in Gaithersburg, Maryland, probably never knew just how potentially dangerous their driver was. You see, Hemming had a criminal history related to drugs and robbery, but that didn't prevent him from becoming an Uber driver. We also wonder if any of his passengers noticed the firepower Hemming was packing. Reportedly, when he was eventually arrested, police found a small arsenal of fully loaded homemade and custom firearms, as well as drug paraphernalia stashed in the car and on himself. Terrifying ride. In the cabbie-passenger relationship, most of us think if anyone is ever going to have a gun pointed at them, it's the cab driver. In June 2016, 2 gay men got an Uber from a club to their apartment. After jokingly commenting that the driver was cute, the passengers found a gun aimed squarely at them. The driver was reportedly infuriated by the comment, yet finished the route and dropped the men off. Instead of saying goodnight, the driver in this case kept the gun pointed at his customers and ordered them out. Nightmare ride. When it comes to cabs and Uber, we generally disregard the old rule of never getting in a car with a stranger. One unnamed woman in China found out that maybe we should stick to this rule. After hailing an Uber in Chengdu, the woman was driven into a tunnel where the driver pulled over and demanded all her money at knife point. The nightmare didn't end there. The driver then proceeded to drive to a secluded area where he sexually assaulted the passenger and took nude pictures of her as leverage against her reporting the incident. Uber rage. When Talika White and a friend used Uber to get around South London, everything seemed fine at first. The 27-year-old reported things started going sour after her friend was dropped off. Alone in the car, White says the driver started calling her all sorts of derogatory and racist names because he had missed a turn during the ride. When they reached her destination, the irate driver got out and dragged White from the car, allegedly striking her twice before speeding off. How much? When you look around the internet, it isn't that hard to find horror stories of people getting huge bills for relatively short trips with Uber. Then there's Jamie Hessel. Her 35-minute, 7-mile drive not only saw her driver break numerous road laws, but ended with her being charged an incredible $16,000. The mistake was corrected by Uber, but it all does little to restore the faith of customers who are wary of the company's fees. Check out our friends at CBR, where you'll find the coolest list videos about TV, movies, gaming, superheroes, comics, and all things geek.